Hello, everyone. I am
Hi,
Greg.
hello.
I am partner at Mission One, and I am co-hosting this webinar with my colleague Kuba.
Hello, everyone. I'm Jacob. Over the years, along our production team, I've been deeply involved in designing and developing our VR solutions, wearing the hat of Chief Technology Officer. I have the pleasure to co-host this webinar with Greg today.
Imagine an organization where you are when you are becoming a leader of a new team. You are facing a change in the organization. You need to fully rely on your team and unconventionally, different than in the past, engage your team members. You need to adapt yourself, your team, and organizations to new challenges. Today, we are going to tell you what our company is doing in the virtual reality trainings and how virtual trainings can change and influence skills development, and learning possibilities. We would like to offer this opportunity to you, your teams, and your organizations. Our webinar will last approximately 40 minutes. We welcome your questions. Please put them in the chat box on the side. We will try to answer all of them at the end of the session. And during the session, we will cover the following virtual reality trainings elements. Why are we doing virtual reality trainings? How virtual reality trainings can influence the learning process, and how we can help you in your learning and development needs. We are a provider of a unique virtual reality simulation for managers and team, Mission One, which details we will uncover during this webinar. Welcome.
Yeah. Uh, Greg posed the very pertinent questions to be answered during this webinar, but let's take the step back to the background of our history, to the why, which encouraged our organization to be set up in the first place. Greg, how do you feel? What are the biggest challenges of modern managers?
Thank you, Kuba, for the question. So, actually, looking at the experience and the time we live in, ever changing and full of uncertainties, disruptions, and ongoing innovations in each field, the leaders of today, many of them have gone through many trainings through their career and have adapted to the new ways of management. But they need to learn fast, they need to adapt fast, and give the same skills for their teams. The leaders of today are very innovative and are looking for new ways of engaging employees and enhancing their skills. For them, standard online or in-class trainings are too obvious, and sometimes they are just time-consuming meetings. So they want to create better teams. They want to have more engaged personnel, and they want to create the environment where they can delegate responsibility effectively. In the current reality, they cannot act in the old ways. Concerning the new time, Kuba, if you could show the VUCA slide. We live in the time of uncertainty, volatility, complexity, and anxiety. This is the today's world that many of us put under the acronym of VUCA, but this is our daily reality, ever-changing environment. Kuba, back to you.
Okay, so during this webinar, we are using different terms and we talk about different acronyms. Before we delve deeper into our discussion today, it's important for everyone to be on the same page with some of the terms we will be using frequently. So let's take a quick minute to demystify a couple of buzzwords in the industry. Let's start with VR, virtual reality. Imagine putting a pair of special goggles like this one or this one. Let me put it aside, and being transported to a completely computer-generated world. That's VR for you. It's like stepping into a digital realm where you can look around, move, and interact as if you were a true leader. The next thing is XR. It's a bit of umbrella term for all immersive digital experiences, AR, VR, and MR. Whether it's the total digital environment of virtual reality or something like augmented reality, where digital elements pop up in our real world through a screen or glasses, like those XR Elites from HTC, those all experiences come under XR. With those terms clarified, let's explain shortly who are we as Mission One. Since early days when our co-founders started their consulting journey, we were always focused on delivering results. When we talk about training and coaching, it's not just about flashy presentations or fancy terms. It's about making sure that we are teaching and learning in an engaging way, and more importantly, something that will be used in real life situations. We have always looked for the different tools and tested out innovative ways to deliver training. Since the beginning, at the core of our training was organizational culture, leadership, and communication skills. Additionally, from around 8 or 9 years, we were involved in the development of virtual reality solutions. Back then, technology and the market wasn't mature enough to adapt those tools on the large scale. It has only changed with the rapid development of VR in the last couple of years, especially in the area of entertainment and consumer use. It was also the time to make a leap forward for us. Around 4 years ago, we stumbled upon the inspiration of leadership philosophy that we strongly believed in, which gave us a great life example and the idea to take advantage of VR in training. A book turned a ship around by David Marquet introduced us to the real-life story of a submarine captain, a spectacular change in leadership style. I believe that Greg will be the best person to talk about it.
Thank you, Kuba. So actually, indeed, the story of Captain David Marquet, if you don't know the story, I recommend you highly to read the book, Turn the Ship Around. Changed our approach to what we want to do in the trainings. To keep the story of this gentleman short, this was an individual that became a captain on the very demanding organization, which was a submarine, hosting more than 130 Marines. He changed the culture of this organization by delegating responsibility effectively and creating from the old state organization that was very top down, created an organization that that created a leader to leader approach where everyone was responsible for their field, and people stopped communicating in the way that they usually old hierarchical structures do. Our idea after this experience was to create more engaging ways to learn for leaders. We listened to the leaders and their expectations. We listened to the fact that in today's VUCA world, there is a need for the new approach, new methods, and technical innovations that will be adjusted to the new generations and will enable the teams to be immersed in the reality that they have to live with and learn new ways of acting. And that's how we came to create Mission One virtual reality simulation, which Kuba will explain more details about.
Yeah. Thank you for the backstory of David Marquet, Greg. Yeah, that was the birth of our Mission One simulator. As previously mentioned, we have tested out multiple solutions and simulations, not only in VR, but utilizing various technologies to improve our training processes. However, we didn't find the tool that we needed. We needed a unique way to engage people to test out communication models in safe and immersive environment to boost their training results. The answer was to simulate the very environment David Marquet thrived in, a submarine. And not just any simulator, but a VR-based one, based in virtual reality. We went even further to portray the business reality of having to operate in different business units. We expanded the simulation of submarine by adding the second unit, helicopter crew. We have attended numerous trade fairs, tested multiple solutions, and we were sure that in order to achieve needed results, we need to build and design something unique. A training tool from the scratch. To have ensure the participants could truly immerse themselves, feel the pressure, experience the scenarios, and learn firsthand the power of team communication. The production of the simulation took a long time and effort of numerous coaches, developers, consultants to create a tool that will engage and give very unique opportunity for teams to develop their the new skills, find their weaknesses, and work on them during the workshop itself. Today, our Mission 1 simulator stands as a testament to our belief in experimental learning that give results. It's not just about reading theories or attending lectures. It's about immersing oneself in a safe yet realistic environment and learning from real-time decisions and interactions. Okay, we understand that numbers often speak louder than their words. Let's start with the data from our own backyard. What is the impact of Mission 1 multiplayer simulation? During the last 15 months, we have engaged in 39 distinct firms, companies, delivered 271 training days. The 1,044 managers took part in training using our Mission 1 multiplayer solution, and we have successfully issued 7 licenses for our VR tools. We also prepared 16 dedicated trainers for use of the VR solutions as the part of the training process. Okay, we now know the history behind the development of our solution. Let me present the simulation itself. I believe that short video will be the best way to introduce the product.
It's really exciting to be able to use VR in an immersive experience. I think has been an eye-opener, and being able to use VR and play it with different roles with your team was a hands-on learning experience that I think took this to a different level. So I would definitely encourage other teams to try it.
The VR as part of this process was definitely a fun challenge and made problem solving and reactive teamwork more interactive. It actually tested a team's ability to be able to communicate and to be able to build that trust in real time. Engaging and fascinating way of being able to test some of the things we learned and the things that from our experience about leadership and teamwork, and put us in a scenario that was very fun and exciting to be in.
Okay, that was a great video, I believe, but how it works in practice. So VR Mission 1 multiplayer simulator can accommodate from 4 to 7 people at once and could be multiplied to the number of groups. We have even conducted the workshop for 70 people simultaneously. The team is split into 2 units, helicopter and submarine. There are a few examples of how it looks like inside the VR simulator. And within each vehicle, people take on roles models after actual positions and the task of the crews in those units in real life. The objective of a team is to jointly carry out the assigned mission. In order to achieve success, each participant must cooperate and maintain control of their area of their responsibility. The simulation is used during the team workshop with trainers. The groups alternate between practicing on the simulator and learning modules and getting feedback from trainer who is facilitating the experience along the way. We make our solution available as the license, which consists of needed software to conduct the simulation and the train the trainer process program for corporate internal trainers. It includes specific guidelines and instructions for facilitating the simulation, training protocols and session outlines, as well as the training materials, and are all provided within this simulation. But what are the instances of using this simulation for? Greg, could you tell us a few words about that?
Sure. So the good question is, who is it for and what does it actually do? So let's start from the scope of what it can cover, because it's not a simulation to teach you how to use a submarine or a helicopter. It is in fact a tool for creating a change in the existing teams. So the scope includes, for example, changing and defining the communication styles within the team and between the teams in the organization. For readers and teams, it is important that this simulation within 1 or 2 days creates an awareness of how to change your leadership style and how you can fine-tune it with implementing lessons learned and best practices from the sessions. It is helping opening and receiving and giving valuable feedback. It creates a possibility for the teams to create communication routines, and it lets them understand how to better responsibly delegate and build engagement in the team. It's very important tool that shows us that taking teams through the change in the turbulent times, it helps understand the obstacles and the way we act and change it for the better of the organization and the team. It is helping building better teams and engagement practices. It is helping in effective collaboration. And also, it shows how you can improve your personal effectiveness and create auto-motivation and self-motivation within the team. So that's about the scope. But who are we doing this for? Without saying the names of the companies that we work with, the industries that we cover vary from telecommunications companies that have many subsidiaries in country and many teams, from banking, financial sectors, including insurance, and new technology companies such as IT, social media, or analytics. Very recently, we have noted that cybersecurity business is looking also for the link between operations and management, and therefore changing people's approach to the cybersecurity. There is many industries that also use it in our case, which is, for example, transportation, automotive, and retail. To cover these industries, it is important to also tell you what these people are saying, because this is our daily life on the trainings. And we are thrilled to share with clients the best references that you can ever imagine for a trainer. We are hearing something like, this was the best training that I have been so far. Can you imagine a sales director with the 20 years experience that have been on many trainings, that have managed many teams, saying something like that to the training? It's just excellent. Some people say that the training has allowed them to be aware how so far experience and the way they manage team influences others in the new and unknown situations. I have received feedback and I can see how I can manage in new situation, in new times. I have learned also what to do if my team members come to me to get ready solutions and I don't want to micromanage them. I don't want to give them a bad response. It allows me to know how am I acting under stress. It allows me to think what I have to work on in communicating my goals to the team. And it also allows me to achieve better results in cooperation with my team. So these are just some of the quotes which we are happy to share with you and enable to talk directly to our clients, which are the best reference for the solution we are offering. Kuba, back to you.
Yeah, Grzegorz presented the great scope of applications of our VR simulation. But we understand that the soft skills training is not the answer to all the training needs that corporations face on the daily basis. You may ask the question, does VR come handy developing other skills? Yes, it certainly does. We at Mission One, we are deeply invested in the power of virtual reality. But it's worth noting that we are not alone in recognizing its transformative potential. Some compelling research from PricewaterhouseCoopers offers a wider perspective on the impact of VR in the learning landscape. Let's look into the data. The findings are impressive. VR learners exhibit a 30% increase in confidence when applying their new knowledge in terms of efficiency. VR training is a game changer, delivering outcomes 4 times faster than conventional classroom instruction. Moreover, the emotional bond with the material strengthens threefold when presented via virtual reality. And the cherry on top, an overwhelming 85% of learners express a preference for VR over traditional methods. The message is clear. VR is revolutionizing learning experiences. Yeah, but what are businesses using extended reality, virtual reality, or augmented reality that we are talking here about for? So let's look into maybe 4 areas of the application. First one, production. Picture your typical production floor. It's finely tuned orchestra of machines and personnel. Now, when you want to change something, maybe a machine's position or workflow, it's not simple. Shutting down, even briefly, can be very costly. Here comes extended reality as a game changer. Instead of real-world trials with all the risks and downtime, you can use extended reality to create a virtual representation of assembly line. Okay. Want to see if a new piece of equipment fits in some place that you want to put it on? Yeah, test it virtually. Thinking about changing a workflow, simulate it first. Let people who run the assembly line test it out in the virtual setting. It's like having a sandbox. It's like having a sandbox where you can play and experiment without any consequences. The flexibility this offers to production planning and management is amazing. Okay, but not all companies have assembly lines at the production facilities. So what about onboarding? The first day at new job can be overwhelming. New faces, unfamiliar places, and a tsunami of information. Extended reality comes to rescue yet again. Companies can now create virtual reality onboarding sessions where new employees can walk through the office, meet colleagues, and even familiarize themselves with their daily tasks and the places around the office, all from the convenience from their home. It not only reduces first day at work logistics, but ensures that when the employee does step into the office, they hit the ground running. Okay, so what about some more business-like area? For example, sales. That's for me personally, it was the biggest impact that I had when utilizing the extended reality during the trade fair showcase of the automotive company. How it worked? Traditional sales involve brochures, presentations, and sometimes physical samples. Okay. However, some products are not ready yet, custom made, or hard to showcase in the small format, and can be very costly. But what if you could give your client a virtual tour of your product? Let them use it in a 3D space, explore its features, and get a real feel. Whether it's real estate, automobiles, or even a tech gadget, XR enables a detailed, immersive product showcase. It's a way to engage potential buyers, let them adjust the features in real time, and make your product memorable. It goes through the virtual presentation. When you are seeing the real life itself, the biggest and the most impactful experience I had was about a new car concept that wasn't ready yet. I were in the trade fair. I received similar goggles to those, which are extended reality goggles, and I could experience the new features of the car that is not ready made, because I was sitting in the chair like this around the people, and I've had the goggles on, and the car was building around me. The features were presented in a very memorable way. I remember the giraffe going through the pedestrian crossing, and the car stopped itself because of the sensors. Yeah. Okay, so it's the great way to engage potential buyers. Let them adjust the features in real time, test out new features, and make your product very, very memorable. Yeah, and last but not least, the safety. In the industries like construction, mining, healthcare, safety training isn't just a routine. It's a matter of life and death. But real-world safety drills, especially for extreme situations, can be challenging or risky to conduct. Enter the virtual reality. With it, business can simulate emergencies like fires, medical crises, or equipment malfunctions. Trainees can practice their response in a safe, controlled environment, making mistakes, learning from them, and improving, all without real-world repercussions. It's a proactive approach, ensuring teams are prepared and confident to handle emergencies when they do arise in real time. What all above use cases have in common? And what are the factors behind this extended reality thing success in training application? Immersion, emotion, fast learning, immediate action, quick effects, attractiveness. What do you think, Greg, about those factors?
That's actually something that we are bringing from the trainings home to our offices. Immersion is something that we offer the clients. They purely focus on the task that they have to perform during wearing goggles. There is nothing like disturbing them. There is no emails, no text messages, no phones. So they fully focus on their task to do and the communication with the team. Regarding emotions, they come naturally during this immersion process because people are they cannot stop themselves from being as they are. So they see what emotions are being driven by this new world, by this unknown world that they experience, and the mission that they go through. Regarding fast learning and immediate action, this could be very controversial, but actually, from the first day, the users come out from the training with lessons learned and conclusions that they implement the very first day after the training. So they go with the to-do list, with their start, stop, continue, and they start acting. The immediate action comes also from the fact that very often when we work with the teams, they create their new routines and new practices in the training room. directly after simulation when the trainer is coaching and facilitating the discussion and lessons learned. And on top of that, the virtual reality as itself, it's very attractive because it's modern, it's adjusted to the current times, and it offers people a very unique new experience in comparison to the stationary in-class or online trainings, and also enables that in the remote environment where people are not sitting in one room physically, but they can be distant and remote in remote locations.
Okay, great. Greg, I believe you have summed up how VR is great. Okay, but our listeners and we might think of, okay, how do I start with implementing the VR? How you guys could help our organization? A few words about our approach. Imagine a pyramid. I will do one better. Look at our pyramid. Each layer of the pyramid represents a different tier of the solutions we offer, each becoming more sophisticated as we move down. So let's embark on the journey layer by layer. So top layer, introduction to VR workshops. At the very top, we have our introduction to VR workshops. Think of it as your entry point into adopting new solution. Our team visits your company to showcase the possibilities of extended reality, augmented reality, mixed reality, or virtual reality. We came with different tools that we have and know throughout, so you don't need to test them yourself. We demonstrate how it can revolutionize and boost your business processes. This introductory workshop helps you to find areas of the potential VR implementation in your organization and throughout your processes. So the second layer, those are tailored tools for individual training. What does it mean? We have our tailored designed for both learners and trainers. Those tools are sessions where learner experience or during the facilitator, either alone or with the trainer, immerses themselves into real-world VR scenarios. It's not just about visuals, it's just about feeling and experiencing. These tools are great for onboarding new employees, training company values, enhancing interpersonal skills like self-presentation, like public speaking or communication, also refining soft skills, sales techniques, and communication strategies. The technologies that we utilize in those solutions are mostly based on 3D avatars with interactions with them, with the decisions making on how the scenario will go, or 360 videos and how to enhanced with quizzes, direction choices, experiences, etc. Those solutions are developed in collaboration with our partners or with you to meet your specific needs. So go one layer down. Moving down, our pyramid becomes even more intricate. We have already introduced our multiplayer solution of submarine and helicopter, a multiplayer simulation. It is a product that we make available for both corporations for the internal use, as well as training companies for the commercial use with their clients. Is it all? No. We are still working on even more advanced tools, ensuring that your training and development endeavors remain cutting edge, and we'll keep you updated when we come up and with other solutions, and our currently in development are ready to use.
All right. So we generally presented you our concept of VR, and we will be happy if you turn to us with any questions. Just to sum up, we are working with the largest enterprises on the market, but also with the training companies. As you know, we have implemented this tool to implement accountability culture and soft skills training, where we trained almost 100 companies, and we have trained thousands of managers. We are helping clients, delivering them the tools, delivering them know-how, and also supporting them in building the training for their needs. And we are adjusting these trainings to needs of every organization at each level of the organization. For the larger organizations, as Kuba mentioned, we are also offering the licensing program, and we have already on the market a couple of licenses in large corporations. So to wrap up our meeting, we would like to leave you with the feeling that we can show you how to enhance your knowledge building and training of your teams, to show you that actually every soft skill or harder subjects we can migrate to our VR solution in order to train what exactly our team needs in the given moment. Me and Kuba and our team, we are at your disposal at any time. You will receive access to our website. After this webinar, you will also receive a handout that Kuba was showing. And also what is very important, it is not the material that we want to teach you about VR. The best information is the reference of our clients and the users of our trainings. We are happy to provide you with the contacts to our participants so that they can tell you directly how they felt and what it meant for them to go through the trainings that are done with our VR solutions. We are proud that we are at the forefront of the education change for the leaders, because leaders need change. It requires to change the behaviors, and we are giving the solutions, the educational solutions that meet the expectations and the interest. Please also don't forget to sign up for our LinkedIn newsletter, which Kuba is showing the QR code for. And if you have any questions, we are very open to answer them now. And thank you very much on behalf of our whole team for listening to our webinar. And we hope it will be very useful. And we hope to welcome you in the future again. Thank you, Kuba.
Thank you, Greg, for joining me during this webinar, and thank you all for joining us today, and hope to see you in the next webinar and during our next endeavors. See you.
See you.